Oh, it's time. Terrible impersonation there. But when it's UFC, you have to come with that energy right off the bat, man. Big
Love the energy that didn't sound like Bruce Buffer at all around, buddy.
no cap, dog, no cap. But it is late night. We are doing this at about 10:30, 10:30 Central Time. But we did pretty well last time. The UFC fight night, we did well. You did well. Justin's picks did well. So let's try and go again for this UFC fight night. We have Vera versus CRUZ. This is your We Talking About Sports prediction. I am Mr. Ron, and of course we have Big Pat 44, our MMA expert. Ben, say what's up to everybody,
Yeah.
my boy.
What up, man? What up? What up? Yeah, we're here late night just trying to put a little bit of content out. Not a very stacked card, to be honest. This main event, though, it makes up for it. This is a main event that, Chito Vera's never in any boring fights, and we know the fan base that Dominic Cruz, brings with him for how many years he's been in the game, his longevity. But just to recap last week, we had the
Yeah,
parlay. We had the parlay, or no, we had Vicente Luque, and
there
then
it
we
is.
also had
Yep.
Jamal Hill. We had Jamal Hill by KO or TKO. Luque, man, that was a very surprising fight to me. Jeff Neal, his coach, Saif Sayud out of Dallas, Texas, they had him looking real good, bro. Every time he threw that left hand,
Uh-huh.
it was connecting on Luque. And Luque is known to have one of those legendary chins, but
Mhm.
man, every left hand was connecting, bro. I had never seen Luque face plant like that. That was a ridiculous finish, and he really wasn't in that. I mean, he lost the first round bad. He won the second round, but that third round, Jeff Neal came out and said, "No, I'm not leaving it to the judges." So very impressive. We did take the L there. Good to get the W in the main event with Hill by the TKO. He had to work for it. It didn't come until about the fourth round. Thiago Santos, the veteran, he stuck around. He went out on his shield, but eventually, the youngin and Hill ended up getting Santos out of there. So 1-1 for me on the predictions. I know Josh had given predictions on the show. Justin had some predictions on. For the most part, everybody, won more than they lost, or at least broke even. So this card, there won't really be as much to play, but like I mentioned, a really good main event.
Bro, as long as there's UFC on the TV screen and it's a Saturday night, it's gonna be on. I mean, there's no football yet. Football's on Sunday. So as long as you have the MMA with the boys and you can cap and you can predict something with the beer in your hand, it's gonna happen,
Yeah,
man.
light the
That
pit,
like the
little
pit.
brew.
Yup. That fight night wasn't bad. The fights were entertaining overall. I think both fights
10
went
for 10 finish
over.
on the whole card.
Yeah, man. I mean, you got. I would say you got your money's worth, but it was free.
It
So
was free, dog.
it was absolutely free. So uh, shout out to the UFC for putting, not necessarily pay per view fights together, but they're putting fighters together who are entertaining for us to watch, even if it is a fight night. So we'll transition from that fight night where we did go 1-1. We didn't, lose any money to this upcoming fight. Like I said, we have the UFC Vera versus CRUZ prediction. It's going to be a one hitter quitter. We're only going to give you one prediction on this one fight, and we'll start off with Marlon Vera. So Chito, as everybody likes to call him, 19-7. His last fight was against Font, where he obviously got the win there. So give us some more info, man, on this number 5 ranked
Yeah,
bantamweight division fighter, Mr. Chito
love,
Vera.
love Cheeto, bro. Love Cheeto.
Yeah.
Cheeto's fights are usually violence. I'm a big
Chito,
fan of. I'm
do
a
you
big
love
fan of
me?
fighters that use their elbows, and cause damage with their elbows. And this guy, he's like a lighter Tony Ferguson, bro. I mean, he's
Ah,
mean. He's a savage. I remember him coming up on the Ultimate Fighter. He was from Ecuador, in the gym that he was training there in Ecuador. He was with like a bunch of janitors and people that were just in there kind of for self
damn.
defense. He was the only fighter out of there. He ended up making
Oh,
it
okay.
to the Tough House, got his ass beat the whole tough season, but then he switched gyms, came to the States, and he's made a big name for himself, bro. Big name for himself. He's on a winning streak, like you mentioned. He got that unanimous decision win against Font. He's a dude who finally is getting main event fights, and with main event fights, Ron, come an extra 2 rounds of fighting. So it's not a
Okay.
15-minute fight; it's a 25-minute fight. He's known to be a slow starter.
Yeah.
Has a very good chin. Has only been finished once in the UFC, I believe. So if any. And you see here 7 wins by knockout, 8
Yeah.
wins by submission. He has the most finishes in the bantamweight division in UFC history. So the guy is in exciting fights. He brings it.
I mean, it looks like he's all around. If he has 7 wins by knockout, then he has more wins by submission than he does knockout, and 7 first round finishes. I mean,
He is busy,
this dude looks like, he's got it all. It's another fight versus a fighter who is known to just be freaking fidgety in there, bro. Like he's on a little something. Like he's been hanging out here in the 956 or something. Mr. Dominic Cruz himself, because this guy, man, he looks like a little herky jerky. Can't sit still. The Dominator, Dominic Cruz, obviously a veteran in the game compared to Chito at 24-3. His last fight was against Munoz, where he got the W in there as well. That fight was all the way back in December 11th, 2021. So not a complete year, but at least 8-9 months since Dominic's been in the ring. Usually we hear him, commentating. So I saw an interview that they sent to us, and then we talking about Sports Chat, and it's an interview with him and Chito side by side, and he even admits it. Commentating Chito's fights, he learned and he picked up a few things from just simply being a commentator. So he has a 2-fight win streak, 7 wins by knockout, and 1 win by submission. So compared to your boy, man, I mean, you came out and you said, "Hey, I got a lot of love." You were on the love train with Chito. Yeah. How do you feel about Cruz? Does he have any chances? He is the dog here. We're going to cover the odds right now, but as far as his odds, do you feel he has a chance being a veteran in the game?
Yeah, 36 years old against a young 29-year-old Chito, barely hitting his prime compared to a guy, leaving his prime. This guy, you said it, Ron, he's commentating more than he is fighting. He's got 1 foot out the door, if you ask me, bro. I mean, let's be real. He's been dropped by little ass Henry Cejudo. He did win that fight against Munoz, but he also got dropped in that fight against Munoz. This is a 5-round fight. His chin, it's going away. He's, like we said, he's on the older side. Chito's going to drop him. He's going to drop him more than once if it doesn't only take once. Definitely Dominic Cruz. I mean, the big thing about Dominic Cruz has always been his footwork. Oh, this guy's footwork is different. His movement is different. Yeah, fam, that's cool when you're 29, not when you're 36 years old. You have no ACLs left. Like, you know what I mean?
As I'm gonna stop you there, because as a 34-year-old, and I don't know if you want to say your age, but we know, 32. Bro, shit, when it was like your 30th birthday, you woke up that next morning and you're like, shit hurt that had never hurt before. We're not athletes like Dominic Cruz is. We're not weighing this bantamweight weight here. I mean, we got some more weight on us. But dude still got 2 years on me and 4 years on you. So that's a great point about being 36. You said Chito does have a chin. I've seen Dominic Cruz in his fights. He gets pretty banged up, man. I mean, there's some pictures of him and his face looks tore.
A lot of scar tissue.
So you think that the way that Chito bangs, Dominic Cruz can take it? Or do you think at 36 years old, do those punches get through him a little bit more?
I definitely see Chito even mixing it up and going to the body early. Just that Dominic Cruz that's not in front of you and you're swinging at a ghost. That's not him anymore, bro. I think that Chito's gonna work him, and in the 3rd, 4th, later rounds, I think he's gonna get the kill shot on Dominic Cruz. I think if you're gonna be backing Dominic Cruz, not much power. I don't see how he hurts Chito at all. Does he have the grappling advantage? Yeah, he could probably get a takedown. I'm not sure that he could keep Chito down on the mat. It's just hard, very hard to believe that he's going to be able to stay, in the octagon with Chito for 25 minutes without getting caught. When he's getting dropped by, lesser competition, he's beating guys like Casey Kenny. Listen, Casey Kenny's a good fighter, but he's not at the level of Chito Vera. I think this is a bad matchup for Dominic Cruz. I mean, we can get to the odds, and the odds tend to agree. The odds, I'm not going to lie, they're a little bit out of hand. They're a little bit out of hand. But over a 5-round fight, the odds makers just don't expect Dominic Cruz to stay in the fight. So Chito Vera is a minus 250 favorite at the moment. So higher than 245, 250, higher than a 2-1 favorite against Dominic Cruz, guy with a big fan base. I do think Cruz's only way to victory is by decision. So that Cruz by decision has got to be way better than plus 185.
All right.
I don't think that the Cruz money line is worth playing, but personally, I think that Chito wins this fight, so I'm going to go ahead and throw him in a parlay. Minus 245 is pretty steep juice. But I do think that he comes out with the win here, bro, and the stoppage even.
Yeah, I mean, we've kind of seen in the UFC in general as these younger fighters, the tide's kind of turning a little bit in the UFC. These guys that we grew up watching, some of them are already retired, and it seems like the UFC is just getting younger and younger. You have, I mean, not that he's a great fighter, right? But guys like Sean O'Malley, are on the younger side. Patty, who just won as well. You have a lot of younger stars. Izzy isn't very old, and he's been at the top of the game for a while. So you have guys like Ferguson, who you brought up earlier. He's kind of on his way out. Even guys like Masvidal, Diaz, who are good for the pay-per-view buys, but they're just not winning fights anymore, man. So I think this is another another fight here where the younger opponent is probably gonna take the win.
Changing of the guard right here.
Yeah, there you go.
This one should put Chito on everybody's map. Not a lot of people know who he is. Mm-hmm. Hopefully, after a highlight reel finish, on Saturday, he'll be a household name.
Man. These are the odds, right, from our fabulous Las Vegas there. And I want you to see this because this is going to be the moment of the night right here. I got something for you. Talking about Vegas. I don't know if you can kind of get the hint, but talking about Vegas, I got a little something for you from Vegas.
Yeah.
Oh, the boys. Shout out to Eddie in Vegas currently right now as we speak, getting down with the We Talking About Sports pod. Thank you for being loyal supporters, good friends. And I don't know. I think we should play that one more time because we got to make sure that Bull drank all his drink because look at that face. I don't know, bro.
Bring it back, Kyle. Bring it back.
Get you some, guys.
There's a lot left there. There's a lot. I mean, that he drank that beer like it was a shot, bro. He just threw a little bit back. I mean, I've seen birds drink more than that.
Damn, I don't know if he's gonna like you for that one, but anyway, regardless of it, man, you guys have fun, win some money. They've already been texting us, hey, what are the parlays? You can find our parlays on Facebook, on Instagram now. Shout out to Justin. He's been really doing well with the Instagram vibes. We're trying to get
pull up the slide of the parlay, because we haven't mentioned the second piece.
We're gonna. That's definitely the cherry on top. That's where I'm going with it. So to wrap all this up, this is your parlay right here. You didn't want to take the juice on Chito, so what did you do so that way it could be a little bit better of a payoff?
Yeah, minus 245. Obviously, way too much to risk. As far as risk win factor. So we're gonna parlay him up with Bruno Silva. Bruno Silva's fighting GM3 Gerald Meerschaert earlier on the card. I believe it's on the main card as well, but he should get Meerschaert out of there. We've seen Meerschaert recently lose to Chimaev, whatever his name is. But yeah, Bruno Silva should just get him out of there and then expect Chito to take care of business in the main event. So here you go, a little parlay, minus 116, and it gives you action throughout the night.
Little parlay piece. I love it, bro. I love it. So let's just recap right here the slides. We're going to go through the odds, which was 245 plus 185. If you guys are crazy, if you're a big dominant CRUZ fan like some boys in the chat are, hey, put your money on almost a 2-1 dog. Boys. Oh yeah, and Ben, take us into the final moment of the night, UFC 278. When I put this picture up, bro, the first thing that came out of your mouth was, God damn, this card is stacked.
Hell yeah, man. We're going to have a pretty good podcast next Wednesday or Thursday for this one. For sure. I mean, we're going to talk about several fights on this card. All you see is ranked fighters on that main card aside from Tyson Pedro and Harry Hunsucker. What a last name, bro. Damn it, boy.
Who's the big Luke fan in the chat? Is it Justin?
It's Justin. Yeah,
Justin,
big Luke Rockhold fan. So he gets the wine sipper Paulo Costa next week. We got Jose Aldo on the card against Merab Dvalishvili. That should be a really good one also. And then Kamaru Usman against three-piece and a soda himself, Leon Edwards, bro. So this fight is taking place in Abu Dhabi, though. So I'm not sure if it's going to be it says 10 Eastern, so it's still at night. No, I thought it might be going on during the day, but it looks like it's still at night.
Yeah. Unless it means in the morning, but I doubt it. Imagine if I'm watching fights at 9 a.m. in the morning.
Well, because I've done it before. Unos huevos, unos weenie and egg and chingazos, papa.
Hey, before we go, shout out to Josh from the We Talking About Sports crew. Earlier, he was saying, going with my heart and saying CRUZ. So we have Josh on CRUZ. He also said that he has Cynthia Calvillo as a parlay piece. And then shout out to Rick, Mr. Rick himself. Merjanov? Is it Merjanov? Onama and VERA. I don't know. He said that those were his plays. Those are some of his leans. So a couple of picks there from the boys. But other than that, Ben, it was a cool little one-hitter quitter talking about this fight. And let's just hope this parlay cashes for us, man.
Yeah, bro. I'm going to have some fun watching the fights this weekend. Try to get out of work. I got Sunday and Monday off. We got Toddy Sunday morning at 10:30 a.m. against Chelsea. It's going to be a fun one. And then football. Toddy to the body early Sunday morning before church, baby. So yeah, bro. It was awesome doing this little quick episode, Ron. Hopefully more to come.
Yep. We're talking about sports for Ben here, next to me, and for Justin and for Roland, the Four Horsemen. We have a great team, and thank you guys for everything. That's it. Peace, and be on the lookout for our upcoming pods.